And welcome to Hannity. Tonight we are barreling toward the all-important presidential election. Now pay attention. Pay attention. We are only 539 days away from November 5th, 2024. This race is beyond critical. Our great constitutional republic is slipping away. The Durham report confirmed our biggest fears, that our U.S. Justice system is completely broken. We know the FBI is politicized. The DOJ has been weaponized. Both organizations, they work hand in glove with the Democratic Party to achieve one common goal, and that is keeping conservatives out of power. People ask me all the time, Hannity, what are conservatives, what are Republicans supposed to do? Long story short, they have one option and one option only. They have to win elections. Now, it is nearly impossible to make any sweeping changes when both the Senate and the White House are controlled by Democrats. So how did the Democratic Party get so much power? They don't exactly nominate stellar candidates. Let's be honest here. Joe Biden is kind of essentially a shadow of his former self. I'll be charitable. Kamala Harris is one of the least likable people on the planet Earth. She shows next to zero leadership qualities. And sadly, and it is sad, the newest member of the U.S. Senate is frankly just mentally not fit to serve. Take a look.
Is it a staggering responsibility that the head of a bank could literally crash our economy? It's astonishing. That's like if you have, and they also realize is that now they have a guaranteed way to be saved by how. Should we just go on and start bailing and sailing whoever bank, regardless of how their conduct is?
Now, John Fetterman, he is a member of the U.S. Senate for a few reasons. One, because Democrats, during elections, they focus on the process of elections above all else. They're not out on the campaign trail. They're not kissing babies, shaking hands, taking selfies, making press avails, giving speeches, doing town halls. No, Joe Biden, John Fetterman, Katie Hobbs, they did none of that. Katie Hobbs didn't even show up for one single debate, not one. Instead, these Democrats, they focused on hundreds of millions of dollars in negative ads. I'd like to know where they get all their money. They focused on early voting campaigns, mail-in voting efforts, and many states, unbeknownst to many of you, have legal ballot harvesting. They focused on that. The practice of legal ballot harvesting enables a third party to collect and turn in sealed paper ballots on behalf of another voter. 24 states and Washington, D.C. now permit this practice. 11 other states don't have any laws on the books regarding legal ballot harvesting. And naturally, Democrats, they're taking full advantage. They don't trust that voters will turn out on Election Day, rain or shine. So they force the issue, and they bank as many votes as possible, and they do it way ahead of time. For example, let's look at the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Over 500,000 Democrats had already voted before Election Day, giving Fetterman a commanding early lead. And by the way, the RNC, they should learn, they should adopt, they should organize, they should even outperform these efforts of the Democratic Party. They should have aggressive early voting campaigns, aggressive mail voting campaigns, or Republicans, frankly, are screwed. They're just going to lose. And they are at a decided disadvantage. You know, you cannot start out Election Day in a race behind by hundreds of thousands of votes and then expect to make those votes up on Election Day. What if it rains that day? What if it snows that day? What if it's cold that day? Now, in many states, Republicans have been reluctant. They have been resistant to vote early and vote by mail. Now, for the people in the great state of Florida, it works out great for them. Why? Because Republicans in Florida have embraced both early voting and voting by mail. And by the way, now Republicans around the country need to adopt the same measures if they want to dramatically increase their chances to win. Now to another reason that Democrats have been able to consolidate power, and that has to do with the controversial politics. I'm not talking about morality, the politics of abortion. I happen to be pro-life. Many of our viewers watching tonight are also pro-life, but many are not. And when a Republican candidate in a swing state like Pennsylvania makes banning abortion a central focus of their campaign without any exceptions, for example, for rape, incest, or the life of the mother, well, that Republican, politically speaking, is probably going to lose badly and drag the entire party down with them. For example, look at the last election, Doug Mastriano. He was a nice guy. I interviewed him. He had an energetic following, but most voters believed that his anti-abortion stance was too extreme. He lost by over 15 points, no exceptions for rape, incest, or the mother's life. His Democratic opponent, Josh Shapiro, received a record number of votes for a non-incumbent. And not only did Republicans lose the governor's race, they ended up also losing what was a winnable Senate race with Dr. Oz. And meanwhile, in Michigan, the topic of abortion was on the ballot. Republicans got wiped out, and the same recently with the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Now, it may sound simple, but it is true. The GOP has got to understand the electorate in every single state and nationwide if they ever want to retake power. Probably the first trimester, I don't know, maybe 15 weeks where Mississippi's law is where the country politically is on the issue of abortion, although each state will make that decision on their own. Now, again, I am stating the political reality if Republicans want to win elections. So the question tonight, with our country slipping away, will Republicans learn from their election mistakes, or are they doomed to repeat them?